Cynics on Disney podcast contains adult language. Listener discretion is advised. This is the Cynics on Disney podcast, presented by nightclub33.com.
Welcome into this week's episode of the Cynics on Disney podcast. I'm your host, Bobby, a.k.a. the Disney Cynic.
And I'm Amanda, a.k.a. the Anti-Cynic.
And rejoining the podcast today is notclub33.com CFO, financial guru, if you will, and small business owner, Patrick Neistat. Pat, thank you so much again for joining us, sir.
Yay.
What's going on, guys? Oh, yeah. What I was going to say.
The kids are also happy. They are here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I think the last time you were on, it was us discussing what our perfect day was.
We also have another guest.
Oh, good. The dog's in there. We needed
a more important guest.
Well, yeah. We need to give Cooper his due, and we also need to let him rest a little because it's been a hell of a week for that dog. What with the fireworks and the whatnots, and
the thunderstorms, yeah. And I've already heard fireworks.
Oh,
I mean, hopefully, all these thunderstorms that we've been getting will finally fill up the lakes and fill up the rivers so that they can return boat service back from Disney Springs to.
Oh, they have. That's been returned.
Okay, good.
Serious?
That's been returned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the water. We went through a period where we didn't have. We weren't getting a lot of rain, so the lake levels went down, and they couldn't run the boats from Disney Springs to the resort.
What about Bay Lake? Remember we got stuck in Bay Lake?
No, the boats were running on Bay Lake and Seven Seas Lagoon, but they got really low over at Disney Springs.
But you could have walked from the Wilderness Lodge over to Discovery Island without, getting below waist deep, I think. So. Not that we recommend trying it. Not that we recommend trying it.
Unless you want to be banned.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's
happen.
a part of me that wants to be banned, but that's beside the point. Anyway, tonight we are going to discuss a restaurant that has been around for God knows how long. I'm sure we'll get an answer to that here in just a second. And it has often been maligned, and we are going to discuss whether or not that's justifiably so. Tonight we are going to be talking about Tony's Town Square restaurant, y'all.
Yeah.
So, the kids had a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Amanda.
You guys really ate there?
Yeah, we really did it. I wasn't just bullshitting you.
Yeah, awesome. We really ate there.
Amanda, why don't you give us some history?
I got a lot of questions, so you guys go ahead and do your thing.
All right. So history here for Tony's Town Square. So this restaurant opened. Okay, let me back up. The restaurant portion has been there since 1971. Okay. It has not always been Tony's. Yes, it's been a restaurant since 1971. It just hasn't always been Tony's since.
What was the name of it? Do we know?
So it was called the Town Square Cafe when it first opened, and it was basically like this open air dining courtyard. From 1971 until 1981, it was sponsored by Oscar Mayer.
They served hot dogs.
So I've gotten some conflicting report. One thing said yes, they served hot dogs. Another said no, even though Oscar Mayer was like Monte Cristos or something. So I'm not 100% sure what they served. What everybody did seem to agree on is that one thing that they gave to the children were like the little like Wienermobile whistles.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
you
can't make this shit up, folks.
Off topic. Did you guys see the Santa Claus movie at the original Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
And Judge Reinhardt, right? He's the one that went the whistle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But so if you can imagine, every child that entered in there got a free Oscar Mayer Wienermobile whistle. In 1981, Hormel became the sponsor, and they ended up adding like hamburgers and like barbecue to the menu. Yeah, things like that. And they also on their menu decided they did like apparently like a huge 4-page menu, and the front page was the history of Hormel. So
gross.
I watched it. I watched a history
go.
special on the History Channel about foods that built America, and Hormel was one of the ones.
Yeah. Well, you could have read about from 1981 to 1989. If you went to Disney, you could have read about it.
Can you just say something real quick? I think the documentary thing has jumped the shark a long time ago. I mean that literally. I think Shark Week actually had somebody jump over a shark out in the middle of the ocean one more time to put a nail in that coffin. But
yeah,
like honestly, like there's a documentary coming out about Lake Lanier, which is outside of Atlanta.
Oh my god!
And how 4 people died or almost died in it, and like. What are we doing here? It's a goddamn lake. It's got a checkered history. Don't get me wrong, but like that's not worthy.
I don't know. There's some because there's like a whole town underneath that lake.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
Go look up Oscarville.
I've watched this Food That Built America on the History Channel. I was obsessed with it. I watched every episode, and I can tell you pretty much about every brand. Fast food, whatever. You want to know about it? I can talk about it. But anyways,
we know who to go to. Hormel sponsorship ended in 1989, and that's when Disney was like, all right, we're going to revamp this, and they turned it into Tony's. So Tony's officially opened. Yeah, Tony's officially opened as Tony's July 24th, 1989. So their anniversary's coming up.
Oh.
It is for those of you that don't know anything about this restaurant, it is a Lady and the Tramp themed restaurant. It is supposed to be a replica of Tony's restaurant from the movie where, the famous spaghetti scene.
I actually didn't know that.
And there's
that's kind of an interesting thing to know. Is it really look like it?
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Actually, the live action. So, anyways.
But there's a lot of Lady and the Tramp. Like, there's a statue of Lady and the Tramp in the middle of the restaurant. There's a lot of like touches from Lady and the Tramp. They have in the lobby, because it's in the same building where you meet Mickey on Main Street in that building. So in that lobby, they have like a couple of small TVs that are playing Lady and the Tramp. So I saw a part of it while we were waiting.
Oh, so that's where you saw Lady and the Tramp?
That's where I saw part of Lady and the Tramp.
Okay.
And the part that I saw was the part with Lady and the cats, like running through the house. No, where the cats were singing the "We Are Siamese, If You Please" that song. That's the part I saw. That's the only part of Lady and the Tramp I've seen. And I watched it at Disney World, so there you go.
There you go.
Are you even a Disney person if you haven't seen
no better place to watch it, I guess.
Anyway, so that's basically the history of.
It only took us 10 minutes to get through the history, so that's
right.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been much.
Go team.
Look, the last time it took us 15 minutes when it was all three of us. It took us 15 minutes to even start the history part. So,
progress.
I think it's huge progress, personally, guys. I'm kind of chalking this up as a W. So this was what I planned that day at the park for. Mm-hmm. I planned it literally for two things. Yes. I wanted to get a couple of things in there that might be a little bit catchy for reviews and stuff like that. And I knew one of the things that was going to piss me off the most was going to be Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. There was no way I wasn't going to do that at that point. And then this popped up as a dinner reservation. And I'm like, well, a lot of people hate this thing. I haven't eaten here since I was a kid, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you what it's like. I just know to stay away from it because of the Disney zeitgeist with this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
I've never eaten there, so I'm interested in what you guys have to say.
Let's go ahead and get to it then. once we got like there and checked in and everything like that,
I
we
do want
checked
to
in
make a
little
note about the check-in process because some things have changed, I think, across the board with sit-down restaurants and checking in for your reservation. We got there about 15 minutes before our reservation, and I was thinking, hey, yeah, we could check in because, again, you could do that. They will not check you in until 10 minutes before.
Oh, really? You guys always
Yeah,
got
so
problems with check-ins and reservations. Yeah.
so we get there 15 minutes before, and they're like, oh, we can't check you in until 10 minutes
Ew.
before. So we had to, that's when I watched, 5 minutes of Lady and the Tramp, and then went back and checked in.
I sat in a chair, and then
Were you outside or were you inside when you were?
no inside.
I walked outside because it wasn't a bad. This was in the evening, so it was a little bit cooler, and I walked out. I walked outside because that porch area is really nice, and you can just kind of like sit there and kind of people watch on Main Street. That's really cool.
It's a great spot, yeah, for sure.
It is. It's a great spot.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the inside because you can kind of off in the corner see Mickey greeting kids and stuff like that.
Oh, you like that
from the lobby? No, not necessarily. It's just
as long as he's not the one having to deal with the character interactions, he's fine.
It's fine if it's a baby. I don't give a it gets weird to me. Thanks, Doc McStuffins. Actually, it was Pluto of all people. Stitch did it to me too, but that our honeymoon when we went to Ohana for breakfast,
best picture of him and Pluto.
Like literally shaking hands, like a father not wanting to like hug his son, like just a firm handshake, and I am panicking.
It's so awkward, and it's a fantastic photo. I might have to post that on the Instagram.
Oh
yeah. It's not a great one for me.
The internet.
It's embarrassed me a little bit more. I will say that so we did sit down finally and get checked in and everything. I would say it is kind of similar to the vibe of the restaurant from the movie. So if you are a Lady and the Tramp fan, this is your only opportunity really anywhere at Disney World. I think that you can kind of get that Lady and the Tramp fix, I guess. It's Italian fare, and that's okay. It's easy Italian. It's Olive Garden. Here, let's go ahead and say what it is. It's Olive Garden.
So,
like, if you're a real Italian,
on par with Olive Garden, or would you say Olive Garden's better?
No, I would say that it is Olive Garden. I wouldn't.
So better
I think
than Fazoli's. Do you got Fazoli's down there?
Yeah.
Better than Fazoli's, but
it is a sit down place, much like Olive Garden is a sit down place. It's just very basic, very bland Italian food that's not made with a whole hell of a lot of soul or anything like that. And that's okay. Sometimes that hits the spot. I won't lie to you.
This is obviously not the only Italian restaurant on property. We've eaten at several others, if not all of the others.
Like Enzo's or what's the one over there?
Marie and Enzo's is, I think we haven't eaten at that one.
That's like we ate at Enzo's Hideaway.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you guys got pasta there or something. So, somebody did.
Yeah.
One of those. If I can remember, that was like one of your first podcasts. Yeah.
It was one of the early ones.
Yeah. Back in the day. January of 2021.
So, question.
Yes.
Did you guys get an appetizer or anything like this?
We did.
Just get entrees?
Okay. Yes,
we did get an appetizer. We got the fried mozzarella for $15.
Okay. Did they screw that up? It's fried cheese.
It was the biggest mozzarella stick I have ever seen in my life.
Were they sticks or were they like?
It was like this flat. No, it was like a flat stick, not like a rounded one like you normally see.
Super long cheese stick is what it was.
It was like I have never seen a mozzarella stick this big. It was huge.
It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It hit.
It was a good mozzarella stick.
That's why we chose
it, though.
It
that he dipped in?
He doesn't eat the sauce. I ate the sauce.
I
And
knew,
it was,
I knew he didn't dip in sauce. I knew he wouldn't
I
dip his
mean,
in sauce.
it wasn't like the best sauce
good
of
enough.
marinara sauce, but it was good enough. Yeah.
It's ragu.
Okay.
It's Bertolli's or whatever. It's not.
It is going to be, I believe,
So it's like,
Bertolli's.
would you say it's like jar canned tomato sauce?
Yeah.
They don't make it.
Let me.
I mean,
they are
that
sponsored.
would kind of make sense because they feed so many damn people, so it'll probably be really hard to make scratch tomato sauce.
I mean, if you had limited resources, or but they're backed by a fucking, almost multi-trillion-dollar company, allegedly.
Yeah.
They are sponsored by Bertolli, I believe.
Oh, that's probably what.
So
I nailed it.
Probably was, yeah.
How many sticks did it come with? Flat sticks did it come with?
It came with like two or four.
But again, those things are huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the two of us, it was,
get the famous garlic bread?
No.
Okay. No, we did not get.
We got garlic bread with the meal, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That came with the meal.
Well, like one piece.
Yep.
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get the one for the table.
Just to mop up the sauce and get
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I had the fettuccine Alfredo as my entree. And you know why? Because it's very basic, which is what this place is very basic. And you know what? It hit it after half a day at the park when it's hot and it's sweaty and you've burned a lot of energy. It kind of hit the spot. It did. It was inoffensive and it was all right.
Did you get chicken or anything on it? Or?
Yeah, got chicken.
Just to give you an idea, again, this is very basic Italian. I mean, it's again the fettuccine Alfredo, the spaghetti and meatballs.
What'd you get, Amanda?
I had the rigatoni alla vodka. I wanted to do something slightly different.
That's one of the cheaper things on the menu.
I do it. Yeah, $24. Yeah, and it is the cheapest thing on the menu actually.
$28 for fettuccine.
24. Yeah, $28. He got his was 28. Mine was 24.
God.
But this it was decent. The vodka sauce was good, and I'm usually I have my one vodka sauce that I like, so I'm usually a little nervous about trying others. But this one was decent. The only thing that I did not really like about it is that they put breadcrumbs in as well, but they're not like crispy or anything, so it's just like soggy breadcrumbs.
Like soggy? Were they like big or were they?
No, I mean no, but it was like spread out. There's no way you could pick them out because it's all like spread out in there, and it's just like soggy. I did not add any meat. No,
that's why it was cheapest on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's no meat added. I could have added meat, I believe, but I chose not to. I'm really weird when it comes to if I eat meat with dishes or not. Much to my doctor's dismay, because I don't get enough protein.
Well, I've seen you eat lamb, so
I have eaten lamb, yes, and you've seen me eat wild boar.
Wild boar.
But yeah, I mean, again, it was decent. The vodka sauce again was good. The fact that there was like these soggy breadcrumbs in there, just I couldn't eat it all because I couldn't take that anymore.
Yeah, I ended up like stopping with like, maybe an eighth of it left or something like that, like maybe a little piece of chicken and a few noodles left.
Oh, are they big plates though?
Pretty good.
They're acceptable portions.
Yeah.
Like I said, Olive Garden. That's literally what I cannot emphasize this enough. Go to Olive Garden. You've gone to Tony's Town Square. Actually, I take that back. Pay for Olive Garden twice, and you've gone to Tony's
Town Square. Pay for Olive Garden 5 times, and you're almost there.
Yeah.
Go to Olive Garden and experience Tony's for cheaper.
This is a hot button of discussion amongst the Disney fandom and everything like that. Pat, throw some questions at us that you may feel like have not been addressed or answered.
So did you guys eat inside the restaurant, right?
Yes,
We did.
Now,
we
are
did
there
here.
places to eat on the patio?
There are.
There are,
There are.
yes.
Are,
It was
are
also
there a lot of
85.
seating there?
It's a good
The
amount.
patio is a decent size.
It's like a third of the
The
seating.
restaurant, the inside's also pretty big, so there is quite a bit of seating.
Okay.
In
I'm
the
thinking-
restaurant.
I'm thinking like if a good spot to be, maybe like on a nice, cool evening, is sitting out on that patio watching people
Yeah,
go
I have
in
eaten
and out
on
of the park.
I've eaten on the patio before, and again, if it's nice and cool outside, it's a great spot to sit and just kind of people watch.
Rare as it is in Central Florida for us to have such a mythical day. I would say that the patio seating is about a third of the available seating
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's out there.
Most of it's inside.
But
It's
obviously on a hot, is there like fans?
yeah, there's ceiling
Yeah.
fans
Okay.
and stuff like that. It's not like a ride queue though, where they have a couple of air conditioning ducts blowing at you or anything. It is just circulating.
Now,
fan.
I will say this to anyone who is like, "Oh, maybe I can get a dinner reservation, here and watch the fireworks and sit on the." No,
No,
you're
you
not
can't.
going to be able to see the fireworks from
Just because
Tony's. You
people,
can't. There's
trees and
it's the other buildings on Main Street are going to block your view.
like the hat shop and stuff.
Yeah,
Beer shop.
this is not the place to eat dinner
I will say
and
this:
watch the fireworks.
this is a baller reservation to have for something like the Halloween party or
Oh.
something with a nighttime entertainment. If that's your thing, I couldn't give less of a shit about parades, but like the
I thought
Main
you
Street
loved parades.
electrical, fuck off. The
Yeah,
Main Street
you like-
electrical parade from back in the day, like if
Oh.
you had this
Parade.
reservation while
Yeah.
that shit was going on, like
Yeah,
you
this
you
would
had
have
that-
been if you time it to a parade, then it's a great spot to have. But if you're timing it to watch the fireworks, you're not going to be able to see
because
them.
it is elevated over the main
Yeah.
walkways and everything, so
Mhm.
you would get above all of the plebeians and common folk that's not inside the restaurant, I guess. Go ahead.
Did you guys get any like drinks or
Oh man, I just got Diet Coke and water. I hate to say
Yeah,
it.
I think I just had water
Yeah.
because
I mean when you're
was-
spending that much on pasta?
Yeah.
Well,
you
it
know.
wasn't just that. It's the heat and the humidity.
Oh,
that
right.
too.
It,
That
like,
too.
as I've grown older, unfortunately, I feel more bloated when I drink a beer. And I was not about feeling bloated in that weather, man. It was
Yeah.
it was 85 degrees and 85% humidity without
Like
question.
even looking at their glasses of wine, they're like 13, 15, 17.
Which is cheaper than most glasses that you would find on property, including, by the way, over at something like Be Our Guest.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're probably right about that.
Mhm.
it's
So-
more affordable than your average Disney table service, I would say.
Cheaper than Be Our Guest.
Right. But it
A lot
is
cheaper.
very much like nothing more than an Olive Garden. We cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
Why don't
Can
we do
you
a
tell me how many?
review? Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
I was just going to ask how many restaurants have you guys eaten in? Sit down restaurants in Magic Kingdom.
Ooh, in Magic Kingdom,
I think we've
Yeah.
covered most of them. We've
we
had
haven't
Be Our
covered.
Guest.
But have we covered Be Our Guest?
We haven't covered it, but we ate
But
there.
we've eaten there. We ate there on our
You
honeymoon.
ate there.
Yeah.
Tony's we've
prefix?
done.
No.
You did skip
Yeah,
a
it was
canteen.
before.
Yeah, it was before.
It was
It was
before.
before
Did you do the
prefix.
one where they served the Thanksgiving dinner?
Nope, we haven't done
we
that
haven't
one
done.
yet.
Nor have we
One
done
other.
Diamond Horseshoe, which is the same restaurant, by the way, guys. I don't know if you knew that or not. Literally,
You've done three
We've
of
done
the 4.
Yeah,
or
there's
three
not
of
a
the 5.
lot. We did Crystal
Okay, so-
Palace. Yeah.
Oh, you've done Crystal Palace?
We did Crystal.
recently.
We haven't reviewed it yet. It's upcoming, but because
Okay.
we've done it pretty recently.
Okay.
But we have done it.
So I got a question for you. You've been to pretty much every one except the one restaurant that serves a Thanksgiving dinner at Magic Kingdom. Which one do you guys recommend?
Walking outside the gates and going over to 71.
See, that's the question.
Okay.
That's not the question. If you're
I
going to
recommend
eat in Magic Kingdom in a sit
quick
down
serve.
dinner,
Don't do
no.
if I'm gonna.
Sit down. The question. Here's the question. Sit down dinner inside Magic Kingdom Park. Which of those restaurants do you recommend? If you
Out of
have
the
to
ones
recommend
that
one.
we have eaten, out of the ones
Yes.
that we have eaten at, I am going to
Mhm.
recommend Be Our Guest.
Okay.
I'm not because I don't
Bobby?
like the prefix shit. I
Yeah. My
I guess
mom
it'd
wants to
have
go
to be
there, by the way.
Tony's. Oh, really? It's not that I won't go back and try it. I just don't like prefix menus force a dessert on me, and no, I
Uh-huh.
don't want a dessert. All that kind of stuff.
I'll eat it.
Um,
It's fine.
I would say of the ones I've eaten at Tony's because it's the least expensive,
Damn.
and it is like it- like if you pay
I
that
love
much
it.
money for
Yeah.
something and it's in any way a
Blasphemy.
disappointment, then like it's a multiplier effect with me, right? Like if I went to Crystal Palace and paid
Uh-huh.
$30 more per person than
Uh-huh.
we ended up doing, which is basically what it works out to, I think. And I had a shitty meal there, I would be more angry at Crystal Palace than I would be at Tony's, if that makes sense.
Wow. That's a hot
Uh,
take.
I don't think it's that hot of a take, to be honest with you. Magic Kingdom sit down dining is shit.
That's an
It really is.
unpopular that's a like people really rag on Tony's, but I will say that I've heard not only you guys, but a couple other people had said that their experience was fine. So
Yeah, like I said, it's not offensive. It's not like top of the line Italian, okay? But like, don't walk into it thinking that way. Like, so much of life is obviously about mindset, right? And
yeah,
that's part of the problem with Disney, by the way, is that they've set us all up for the magical
set you up.
expectation. They've set us all up. That's what the marketing campaign's all about, is the magic, right? But
Yeah.
this, everybody's maligned it for so many years that my expectations were so fucking low that
Oh yeah.
like if they served me baby vomit, I would have been like, well, at least it wasn't cat vomit, so but that's Magic Kingdom dining for you. I would say,
Okay.
honest to God, like don't waste your time with table service unless you're like us and have nothing
Yeah.
better to do than try stuff like that out. Go with quick service if you have to eat.
Yeah.
Casey's Corner is good. The spring rolls are great. They're Pinocchio Hoos,
Yeah.
whatever that one over by Small World, Gaston's Tavern. There's a couple of places that
Harbor
they're
House.
just yeah. Columbia Harbor House is another. Um, just do that. Don't waste your
Grab
time
a
with
hot dog from
with sit down.
Casey's.
Yeah, there's nothing more American than eating a Casey's hot dog outside in the sweltering heat on Main Street, USA. So, all right, Amanda, on a
Yes.
scale of 1 to 5 towns, how many squares are you going to give Tony's Town Square?
I'm gonna go with 2.5.
Two and a
Wow.
half.
2.5.
That's pretty high.
Yep. I mean, it's decent. It's average Italian food.
Mhm.
Definitely not the best that we've had. I think it's a little overpriced for what it is, but
No shit.
Wow.
At
When in
Disney
Rome.
World?
no, right? And again, just having soggy breadcrumbs in the pasta, just
So if they
I
didn't have
can't
the
deal with that
breadcrumbs, would you
texture.
give it a 3?
Probably would have been a little bit higher, yeah. but those breadcrumbs kind of just because I can't like that
They
texture
ruined it.
just ugh
Ah,
yeah. But yeah,
right.
so that's
I'm going
All
to
right,
give
Robert.
this a 3.
okay.
And
Whoa.
it's, like I
Hello.
said, decidedly
A
average.
3?
Understand what you are getting into. Go in with those Olive Garden expectations, and you won't be dissatisfied. I would also say that because it is a sit down place and it's not so expensive and it doesn't leave something to be desired, and just in terms of the food, you know what I mean? Like it's not overpriced for what it is within the theme park.
Right.
Outside of the theme park, it's never would go here. Like I said, don't do dining, sit down dining at Magic Kingdom. But if you have to, yeah, go with Tony's. There you go.
If you're a fan of Lady and the Tramp, this is and again, you go in with the expectation that this is not going to be the greatest meal you've ever had. I think this is a really good restaurant. You know, again, there's a lot of Lady and the Tramp decor. There's a really cute statue in the middle of the restaurant. You know, so if you're a fan of the movie, then yeah, try it out. But again,
Why did our dog perk up when you said if you're a fan of Lady and the Tramp?
well,
Like I heard him start shaking his collar and stuff.
I mean,
I am
apparently he
shocked
watches Disney
that-
Plus when we are not home.
Yeah.
But here's the question: should I really be shocked that Bobby this would be his choice to recommend?
No.
Since should I be shocked?
No.
No.
In Magic Kingdom, no.
No.
Bobby does love him some pasta.
Yeah.
Case in point, we had noodles for dinner tonight.
So I'm really interested. Do you like? So do we. Alfredo too. With chicken.
We had Japanese, but we had noodles.
Okay. I'd be really interested to see what you thought if you go eat at the Thanksgiving restaurant, and how you compare it, because I feel like that is maybe in your wheelhouse. That's in Bobby's wheelhouse for like food.
It's not. He doesn't like Thanksgiving.
You don't like turkey?
No,
he doesn't.
No.
I'm going to be the critical one on that one.
Really?
When we finally eat there, because.
But they got like mac and cheese and.
Okay.
Yeah, mac and cheese is fine, but come on, like really sweet potato casserole. Like
I'm gonna be the super critical one on that one when we finally do, because theirs is like a northern Thanksgiving and I'm very much southern.
Yeah. That's me too. So
so my Thanksgiving, I deal with this when we have Thanksgiving with Bobby's family, like when we would go to his parents.
I've been at Bobby's Thanksgiving. We try to record at the end of his Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, that was an experience.
Yeah, it was.
I think we should have a repeat episode of that personally, but that's
such
an
experience.
It was fun.
That's great.
All right, so let's get to a couple news stories here that have come out recently. One of them being the death of Genie Plus Lightning Lane something or other. So
is it really?
Instead, they are reverting back to basically the old Fast Pass Plus system.
Almost.
I mean,
you just gotta pay for it.
It's exactly what it is. Yeah, you just have to pay for it.
Well, there's one minor detail that they won't let you do.
Yeah, re-ride an attraction.
Yeah. Which, if you're paying for it, what the fuck?
I know, right?
That's Pat's.
Like, I should be able to ride whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, I should be able to ride what I want.
If I want to ride Dumbo 100 times, I should be able to ride Dumbo 100 times. Yeah.
So that's my theory on just the park ticket. This whole bullshit with the multi-pass. Like, I can understand. I'm even okay with charging for just the one-off ride for the more popular attractions. I'm fine with that more. I can or at least I'm more understanding of it. I'm less understanding of this bullshit system where we stick a fast pass on the stupidest fucking attractions that don't need a fast pass. And then it forces you into using the goddamn fast pass because otherwise you're stuck in it for an hour and a half.
Yep.
It's just, I hate it. I hate it so much. And the fact that it cost me money on top of that makes it even worse.
Now, I've heard an argument that that charging for Fast Pass is not making them money. They're losing money at restaurants, and they're losing at retail because more money is going to this Fast Pass because you're spending what? I think if I were to buy it, it's at least $100 a day. Like, we'll just say roughly $100 a day, which I could have spent maybe on a meal that would have cost me $150, or
Yeah.
some merchandise,
Yeah.
3
The
things or 4 things for my kids that would have been over $100. So
correct.
there's an argument to be said that if you made that free, more people would come, more people would be satisfied, they would spend more money.
Yeah.
Plus, Bobby, you shared an article with me from Apple News about this.
Mm-hmm.
And they mention that, these changes, like, people kind of complained not only because you were paying for it, but because, you had to get up at, be up at 7 a.m. day of to try and get in virtual queue or to try to get your fast passes. And while now you don't have to, you're not doing it day of,
Yeah,
you're
you
still
got to get
doing
up
it
The
before,
week
and you're
before.
still having
7
to get
days.
up.
7 days before you leave,
Yeah.
you got to get up.
Yeah. You got to get up. Now you just got to get up before you leave to make these.
I will say at least
Yeah.
though that like those kinds of things, when you are back at home, you're probably getting up to go to work or
Yeah.
get the kids ready for school and all that shit. So
But
like I don't find that as terrible, I guess,
well, it
as
sucks for the common person the local who goes that can't
Right.
just get up, and that kind of,
look,
that takes away from
obviously,
the advantage, and the planner, the person that doesn't plan, that, that hurts them as well.
And if
obviously
you're
from
booking, you can still book same day.
Yeah, but
But like all these new tiers that they have don't apply for same day bookings.
oh yeah, so that's FastPass Plus had the tiers, right? I'm almost certain it did.
I don't think it
Yes.
FastPass
did.
didn't. FastPass
No.
didn't. FastPass Plus
Fast Pass
did.
Plus did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's
But
all
yeah.
It's too
it's all,
confusing. They changed Genie Plus. Now it's Lightning Lanes. It's too confusing.
So basically,
Multi-pass,
with the
single
with the
pass.
tiers, with the tiers in this new system, um, under the old Genie Plus system, you could choose from a list of attractions, but you couldn't choose all of the attractions. Like, you didn't have like a whole list of all of the attractions. You only had a select list. The new system breaks it into tiers, and this is, however, you only get tiers for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. Apparently, Animal Kingdom is not doing tiers on their
It's a
rides.
free
well,
fall.
it's
Um,
because there's no at Animal Kingdom. It's either
But
a hit or a dud in terms
yeah,
of an
it,
attraction. So there's no middle ground that they could throw in a tier. Honestly,
it
Well, they're
makes sense to have
doing,
the tiers though.
you get one attraction from the top tier, which are your more popular rides, and then you can
Yeah.
do two other selections from from the lower tier. Unless you're doing same day, you know, bookings, then
Then you could just
don't.
grab one,
You
right?
just grab whatever. Yeah.
And then just keep on grabbing it once you scan in.
Yep.
ugh, just
Yeah.
annoying. Just annoying. I
Another thing that I heard proposed was, why don't they just make it like, you want this pass, make it, you know, $200. You want this pass, it's $200 per person.
Mm-hmm.
That way, a lot of people don't buy it. It's kind of like a luxury thing. If you want it, you get it, but then you don't have as many people screwing up the standby line.
correct.
The standby line goes faster.
If they're
So
going to do it, they need to do it right and really make it a luxury item that does it minimally impact that standby queue. There is zero reason ever for an Omni Mover attraction to have more than a 30-minute wait. I understand like there's just the
yeah.
logistics
Well,
of a crowd, but beyond that, it never stops unless there's a handicapped person getting on the fucking thing or it breaks down. There's no
yeah,
reason for there to be a wait longer
that
than 30
Skyliner
minutes.
moves quick and it just runs. You don't pay for that. Not yet.
Well, yeah, just wait. I'm sure that you'll have to buy a bus
But
pass at
no, if
some
you
point.
guys remember, I mean, you guys were there during COVID. Like, maybe the parks weren't at full capacity, but there were no fast passes, and you just went through the
It was
queue,
fine.
and it
It was
went
It
through
fine.
quickly. You went through quick.
Yeah, it was
There
fine.
you never waited 90 minutes. I mean,
Um,
it's 30 minutes.
yeah.
I do like
Maybe.
the statement that Disney posted to announce these changes.
Oh boy.
Um, We deeply value the trust families place in Disney to create lasting memories, and that is why we are dedicated to making updates that improve and simplify their experience. This has done
Additionally,
neither one of those.
no, it's an improvement over Disney Plus. I mean, Genie Plus. It's like
Can we stop calling everything something plus? It gets so confusing.
that's because Walt liked the plus things, right? And now everything's plus. But
No, it's
I
because
mean, legitimately, it is better than Genie Plus. It just is.
okay, but it's
Yeah,
still charging me extra to ride rides that I
sure.
should be getting,
But
and as a principle, I
I think
won't pay for it.
that is a ship that's sailed. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to go back.
I, it, I disagree. Okay, and there's a reason for this. Okay, you've seen the internet like come together on so many different occasions. Usually,
Yeah,
it's for
Look,
negative reasons.
the internet
But
came together and got Sonic the Hedgehog changed before that movie came out because it was so disturbing.
just just look at my gal Hawk Tuah girl and how she has risen to fame and embraced everything. But the internet banded together and found her. They got a lot of
yeah.
shit wrong apparently, but they found her.
Why?
A lot of shit wrong about her.
Everything. They got everything about her wrong.
Except her name. They got her name right. Just everything else they got wrong. But like, if you rally enough people and you rally the right people, and by that I mean like us, that's why I rail against it so often and try to reinforce that shit. It's because I do want to genuinely change someone's mind from buying this thing
Here,
and voting with your
here's
dollar.
the thing. Here's the thing: is that you living in Orlando, like you can go ride whatever attraction pretty much when you want. You can wait in line for it,
Kind of.
whatever. But when I go once a year,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot different. So like I want like my kids want to enjoy those attractions, and I'm not going to spend you know most of my day and only get to ride 4 attractions, because the lines are too long.
Okay, and
So
I
it's worth it to
understand
me.
that.
It's worth it to me to say, okay, yeah, this sucks, and I wish I didn't have to do it. We didn't have to do this before, but if I want to be able to enjoy this park and get through it efficiently, and enjoy our time there, then and not have to sit in the lines the entire day, then it's a choice I have to make.
I get that, but I also would point out, dude, you come here, you're a DVC member. You
Yeah,
come here not twice a year or something like that, but you come here
yeah.
a good bit. And there's rare is it that there's an attraction that you haven't seen. It's literally
It's
only the
more
newest one
it's more for my
that you have.
kids than me, right?
I see that
I could
as a
go to the
valid
Disney parks and
argument.
not ride a ride, you
I
know.
see
Yeah.
I just feel like though that you're the core audience and that I would want to reach though and say no, don't spend the money, vote with your because you remember a time when it was run more efficiently where we did
Yeah,
have those lower standby
Yeah.
lines where it
for
was more
sure.
affordable for someone. I mean, look, I was decidedly middle class. Okay, this is not a judgment or anything like that, but it wasn't like upper middle class.
Yeah,
We struggled every now and then, and yet we were still able to afford to go to Disney
yeah,
as often as we did as a kid. There was some strings pulled and tricks and everything like that, but it was way more affordable to the average family.
sure.
Well,
And
no, and let me chime in because you were middle class. I was not.
yeah,
We were lower class, and we still managed to go almost on a yearly basis from the time I was 9.
Yeah,
And now
that
people are
couldn't
yeah,
literally
happen.
going into debt to do this vacation.
for
And
sure.
that shouldn't happen.
It, yeah, but what are you gonna do? I mean, it's
So
a corporation, and that's
what
how
you
they
can
do it.
do, what you can do is vote with your dollars. I mean, this is called social capital at this point. If you don't believe in something, you don't have to spend your money on it, and that's where I draw the line in the sand.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was a time I'm a huge Braves fan. I have one tattoo. It is a Braves logo tattoo. But when they moved from the downtown stadium to their new stadium location, I was genuinely pissed about it. Not because like oh, it's historic and all that stuff. they fleeced the county basically for
Yeah.
all this tax money and and all these bullshit contracts and everything like that. And it was all because that particular county wanted the prestige of having the Braves
Sure.
there. They just didn't care. But they ultimately they're losing money on this whole thing, and it's a fucked up deal that a private entity like a professional sports team can go and do that. So I didn't go to Braves games for the longest time. The only time that I went to Braves games was when someone else
We
gave me free
yeah,
tickets.
we didn't.
I wouldn't pay to go
Okay.
to one of those. So it's a little thing, but it is a principled thing with me that
Well,
I
Micah, and
refuse to do that.
I like going to Walt Disney World, and my kids like riding on those rides, and I don't want them to have to sit in the line. So, I mean,
Ah,
really, it's
s-
if
spare
you
the
had
kids,
kids, you'd
spoil the
understand. They're
rod,
not
make them.
there. They're there to have fun, and
Kids
you
spoil
know,
the rod.
may,
Yeah,
maybe we
That's
don't
not the saying, but okay.
buy souvenir. Maybe we don't buy souvenirs or whatever. We just have to spend the money on that. Um, but I mean, we don't buy souvenirs really when we go, but because we go so
well,
often.
how could
So
you with all that time that you're waiting in line and everything? So, um, the man whose fault this is, though, he recently had a major milestone. So let's go ahead and give a half-hearted ugh to the CEO Bobby Iger. He recently
Retire.
he recently received his 50-year service award.
50 years.
Yeah, for his service with the Walt Disney Company. Now, obviously, that would seem like a long time, and you know what? He didn't technically work for Disney that whole time. He worked for
Oh,
ABC
ABC.
because that's where he got
safe,
started.
right?
And then when Disney bought ABC, then I guess that
Oh, yeah.
service got rolled in or what have you.
Well,
Now that we
You
know that
know,
he's been with the company,
hold on. I have a gripe about this.
uh-oh.
And it's not because he's been here for 50 years. That's a whole separate gripe. As a college program participant, I was there for 9 months. Had I gone from CP to like part-time or full-time, they would not have counted that 9 months in for like my years of service. So
Oh,
how
okay.
come this man starts with ABC way before Disney ever bought them?
I've never seen
But
this
all
so far.
that time got counted in.
She's
Make it
never
make
been this
sense,
angry.
Disney. Make it make sense.
She's never been this angry on this show before. It's hysterical.
I sense she's a little upset about this.
No,
Little bit.
I gather. I gather.
So
Little bit.
Iger's been at Disney for 50 years. Well, give or take 20 years. Um,
But you know,
but
he's been employed for 50 years. And that enough's enough. Go away.
is that his only job? How old is this
Retire,
guy?
please.
Basically. He's 70.
I mean, seriously.
He's in his
See,
70s.
Our favorite segment.
Amanda Google shit. We still need to
He's
get
got to be
that
70, right?
jingled.
He's
72.
73.
73.
He is
Okay.
Shit,
73.
he's been working in
He's
media.
been working since he was 23 years old. Yeah.
I mean, he
This
must
is
have
his
been his
only
first
job.
job.
This is his only
Yeah.
job. Yeah. This is
That's
it.
quite remarkable for essentially the same company, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
Go away.
Bob, here's to another 50 years. I know you want it.
Fucking
Why?
son.
Why would you do this, Pat?
You know what? Pat loves a good Molotov cocktail that he can throw.
Just try to
and
start
light
all
shit
kinds
on
of shit,
fire.
aren't you there?
Fucking this guy. Look, I mean, he's had his time in the sun and he's had his successes. We thank you for your service. Now
Sure.
get the fuck out.
He's done some great things for the Walt Disney Company.
I disagree, to be honest with you. I
What do you
disagree.
mean?
I think Star Wars is a losing transaction because of the way that they produce all of their shows, and because of the Galactic Star Cruiser as well. That is a boondoggle of a goddamn thing. They're not understanding that the people who love Star Wars want to see the original Star Wars. It's why The Force Awakens
Yeah, but
was
what
as popular as it was because it was basically the
what,
first one.
what about like Pixar? I mean, purchasing Pixar was a brilliant move.
Okay, but
Like
Marvel is
Shanghai Disney is obviously a success. I mean, that's a major success.
Marvel
That
is
park is,
also a
yeah,
success that
Marvel's
they
another great
beat,
success.
but they
Now, I will not,
milked
I'm
it
not going to
out.
disagree with you on Star Wars. I think they've had a lot of, they've made a lot of bad decisions with Star Wars for sure, but it was a good purchase at the time, I think, and it still has a chance to really be something.
20th Century Fox
Now,
was a good purchase at the time
Fox is a
too.
disaster. That was a disaster. Set us back. You know, now I think we're over this hump, and hopefully we get some things in the theme parks. But
I,
that
I,
Fox
ugh.
deal really screwed stuff up. But
I will say
Uh,
this. I just did the math.
yeah,
He is not counting Roy Disney in the
uh-huh,
in the longest CEOs, because obviously Rory's going to have that. But
yeah,
out of everyone that came after
uh-huh.
Rory Disney, he is not the longest running.
Is that
that's Eisner.
Eisner is the long. He's not far behind, but
Lord
he's
Eisner?
Eisner. Eisner
Maybe
was
that's what he's
21
trying to do.
years. Eisner was 21 years. Bob Iger's. Because I lumped in. Let's be real.
Eisner started out really well, and then
When
it just
Chapek
towards
was running,
towards the
when
end.
Chapek was CEO, Iger was really running things. So I counted that time in. So 17 years.
Well, wait a
Yeah,
second. He became CEO in 2005, right?
Right.
And his contract is set to expire in 2026, which would make that 21 years at the top position, which
yeah,
would
but
tie him with
he's
Eisner.
good for another 50 years with the company. They freeze him like they did Walt Disney.
Oh God,
Uh,
here we
they
go.
keep them alive, and then when they get the technology, they bring them both back. Okay, Iger, and then we decide
Yeah,
who's going to be
and
the next
Walt
CEO.
will, dear God, I cannot imagine that
We'll
Walt
see
would.
if Iger gives up that shower to Walt. We'll see.
This is the dumbest fucking thing. Hey, Pat, you and I seem to know a lot about pop culture that's going on. If
Yeah,
only
So
we had
unhinged.
an outlet whereby we could speak about it.
yeah. I don't know where we'd find one of those, but
I have an idea. Why don't we record our own separate show that we may have already recorded? That's just you and
there you
me, and
go.
we talk pop culture. What does that sound like?
Yeah, it sounds like fun. I mean, yeah, I mean, it sounded like fun. It was fun.
It was
So,
fun. We've already done it. Who am
yeah.
I kidding? Check out our Pat and I's newest brainchild, Disney's Apocalypse Now. Is what we're going to call it, where we talk about intellectual properties that are in the current zeitgeist of things and predict how they may be applicable to the theme parks at large. I know, since we already know what we've talked about, we do hit up on
Yeah.
certain things like Star Wars, specifically the Acolyte gets discussed a good
Mhm.
bit, but also things like Lilo and Stitch rears its head, Alien
Yeah.
Romulus, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Inside Out 2. And for once, I have a halfway decent idea when it comes to applying one of these fucking cartoons into one of these
Yeah.
Epcot of
It
all
wasn't
places
bad. It
attractions.
wasn't a bad idea. It
Was
wasn't a
not
bad
a
idea.
Okay.
bad idea. It
Was
was
it
not the worst
appropriately
idea.
placed in the park?
Yes.
Because we don't even
Who
know.
cares? No one cares
I
anymore.
guess you got to watch the
Disney
show to
doesn't.
find out. Got to watch the show to find out.
What are sightlines? Never mind. We won't get into that. So make sure that you are checking that out here in the near future. Guys, thank you so much for listening. And Patrick, thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us
thanks for
tonight.
having me.
Aside from promoting our new phenomena of a show, what else would you like to promote here since
So
you
at
are
some point, we're gonna have the Notcast back. Um, people are on vacations, whatnot, and that's why kind of we haven't had any. But yeah, we'll be having that shortly. And then I've had a couple 3-minute dining reviews. I'll have a couple more coming out. Check those out, and then of course this show. Check this show out. If you haven't seen the old shows, go back and listen to the old shows. So yeah,
Yep, you can do that wherever you listen to podcasts.
if
Apple,
you
Spotify.
if you enjoyed the unhingedness that was this episode, go back and just every episode with Pat is unhinged.
Yep.
So If you
And they
like
get-
this,
and they get
there
more
are several
chaotic.
others that you will
This-
also enjoy.
This was in control. This was.
This was the least of the unhinged.
Shit gets
So-
wacky, and I love it. So, yes, make sure that you check that out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever you're listening to podcasts. Podbean, I know, is one. Some Russian
What is
weird
it called? What'd you just say?
Podbean. That's a real thing.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're listening to Podbean.
Yeah, just wherever you're listening to us, make sure that you subscribe and rate and review us there as well. And on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed here to this YouTube channel, as well as dropping comments. We fucking love the comments, you guys. Keep them coming.
Yep.
They are always fantastic and always, well, not always thought provoking, but a lot of them are hilarious instead, and that's better. So, hey, Amanda, we're on social media. Are we?
Yeah.
Where am I?
Somewhere.
Do we have accounts? Yes. Have I been great at updating them? No.
Just busy with
You
school.
have 3 jobs, okay?
I know, right? I've got 3 jobs.
Just busy with school.
Where,
That great paper.
on the off chance that we do an update, where might we be found on social media?
So you can find us on Facebook and that site formerly known as Twitter at Cynical Disney. You can find us everywhere else. So that's Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Pinterest. I think I covered them. At
you're on
Cynics
everything.
on Disney.
Yeah,
we
and
are.
of course, this here show and all of the content here is produced by NotClub33.com, of which Pat is, of course, the CFO. Please make sure that you are checking out NotClub33.com for all the latest and greatest updates, including but not limited to the aforementioned Notcast, our Disney's Apocalypse Now show, and this here podcast as well. The Notcast, when it does return, it will be released on Fridays at 4 p.m. Magic Kingdom time. That's East Coast time for all of you California folk. So, guys, thank you so much again for listening and supporting us here at NotClub33.com. We appreciate it. Until next time, have yourselves a magical fucking day.